this postseason than compared to last year?
I think those two guys carry themselves with a lot of professionalism and work ethic throughout the entire year, so I don't notice too much different. But I did like their well-balanced last game. I thought that both of them had a positive impact on offense as well as defense. And so I think when you have guys that do that, it puts you in position to win.
Joe, is there any difference or level that you have to elevate yourself to in playoff coaching? Is it more important, you think? Is it just as important as a regular season game? How have you approached coaching and making adjustments in this period?
I think it's obviously not the same because the stakes are higher, but it still comes down to the most important things. It comes down to the details. It comes down to the margins. It comes down to how can you simplify things and be physical, and with that knowing that you have to find a couple small things to be ready to adjust to. But what you can't do is go out of your way for adjustments when usually the easy answer is the simple one. It's the more physical one.
Do you feel obligated at times to make adjustments because there's so many game-to-game adjustments, or is it the same?
I think you have to differentiate why you're making the adjustment, and I think you have to constantly trust your players, you have to trust your staff, you have to trust your instincts, and so I'm not obligated to adjust just because it says that you have to. I think it's more about what's best for our team and what puts us in position to win.
I'm not sure if you can comment on Ime's situation, but I was just curious, just in general, for you last year, what kind of things you learned under him and kind of took with you, becoming head coach for the first time this year?
Yeah, I'm happy for him in the sense that I think it's important. Second chances are important, grace is important, forgiveness is important, and so I'm a product of a second chance, and I think it's important to have that in society, and so I texted him, congratulations, and then I was grateful. Just the time that I had to learn from him as a coach.
Joe, I just want to follow up a little bit on Gary's question before. Just in terms of your own coaching, how would you evaluate yourself so far in this playoff series?
I have great players and a great staff, and they put us in position to win.
Does that mean you're satisfied so far?
I'm satisfied with our players and our staff, yes.
This might not be a question you can answer right now, but obviously a lot of your guys on staff are Ime's friend. You've already lost Damon to Georgia Tech. Do you anticipate any of those guys leaving? Are there changes? What do you kind of expect from your staff?
I don't expect anything. I just want our guys to be in a position to feel like they're growing as a person and they're growing as a coach. And so we try to make that environment here with the Celtics, and want the people to know that work here, that they're valued, and that because of them we have an opportunity to be a really good organization. And so if you feel that, that's great. But I always want guys to feel like they can grow as people and players wherever that may be. I think that's the most important thing to express to a staff and an organization.
Joe, from a demeanor standpoint in the postseason, how do you kind of meet the moment where the stakes are high? Obviously, it can be highly pressurized moments. What do you do to make sure that you're not too intense, but also to find a good level in terms of your messaging?
It's the playoffs. There's no such thing as too intense.
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
Do you treat a knockout game any differently, or is it just the same focus, as the next game?
It's impossible to say it's not any different because it is, but you can control what you focus on. And so at the end of the day, we have to play the level of basketball that we're capable of playing. We have to be the aggressive team. We have to be the more physical team. I thought last game we got off to a great start with our pace and our physicality, and I thought we did a great job of handling the momentum swings of the game. They cut it to 4, and we got an and 1 on an offensive rebound. We were up 10, and we closed out the game. We relaxed a little bit in the last 50 seconds, and we made a play to get that momentum back. And so nothing matters except our approach to the game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.